Hallo zusammen, I'm your vlog Dave. As you can see, I'm not alone. Well, he wanted to be in the video as well. Why not? Today I want to talk about something frightening though. I don't know if you're prepared for that actually. Because I want to talk about Krampus. From a German perspective, so to speak. What is it all about? Where does it originate from? And what do Germans think about Krampus and this urban, this mythology, this legend? I don't know. Just Krampus. Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What and who is Krampus anyway? Der Krampus is a demon-like monster that works as a, well, sort of workmate, you could say, of Saint Nicholas's, who is called der Nikolaus in German, by the way. Quite similar sounding. The real Heiliger Nikolaus, the real, well, Holy Nicholas, so to speak, yeah, he was a real person, originated from the ancient 4th century AD Lycia, which pretty much equals large parts of what we know as Die Türkei, Turkey today. Well, one could think Krampus might also be from there. Most sources I found though indicate that this creature is linked to a more Central or West-East European origin. So now that we know his occupation, I guess he is male, so that's why I refer to him as him, you know, he and stuff. What is his work ethic like? The basic outline is, well-behaved children receive presents from Saint Nick, while badly behaving and evil kids get punished by Krampus. And by the way, it's not Krampus or Krampus or something like that, it's Krampus in German. Till Lindemann would definitely love this term, Krampus. Often this mysterious creature is shown with 2 large horns and a long tail, similar to what people commonly associate with the devil. It's usually wearing a coat, carrying heavy chains and a so-called Rute, die Rute singular, die Ruten plural, the rod or birch. It also carries a sort of rucksack, der Rucksack singular, die Rucksäcke plural, in which it, according to legend of course, stores really bad behaving children. I mean, or he collects them, he stores them, I don't know what he actually does with them. Do I want to know? Pretty much as their punishment, I think. Old form of rehab, I guess. Even though it might resemble certain animals such as bulls and the like, it also has human-like features. For instance, when you look at the hands and feet, which, but that's only my assumption, could also imply that it's actually a cursed human being who was turned or changed into a Dämon. Der Dämon singular, die Dämonen plural, the demon. Met Daemon, Dämon. And also the name, I mean, who's called Krampus? What does that even mean? The commonly used term Krampus isn't a common German term at all, from today's standards, not even close. It's not obviously related to words we use on a daily basis. However, this doesn't mean it isn't German. Quite the opposite, because it actually originates from the Middle High German term Krampen, something lifeless or withered. Mittelhochdeutsch, by the way, Middle High German, was a, well, sort of previous version of the German language we know today, colloquially and really generally speaking. Do you know when Krampus actually became a thing? No? Well, me neither, so let's find out. As of now, the earliest discovered written notes and documents referring to the Krampusbrauch, for der Brauch singular, die Bräuche plural, the custom, date back to the 16th century AD, so it basically is a very old, even ancient mythology, if you will. Maybe before that, before he became known or found, I don't know, Krampus lived a normal life similar to Gollum or Dobby from Harry Potter. And Saint Nick saved him and employed him, because he's a good guy. After all, right? I think so. How do Germans actually think of Krampus? How do they celebrate them, so to speak? As I've already hinted here and there, it's celebrated in southern Germany, yeah, but it's also celebrated in other countries of Europe, for instance Austria, Slovakia, Italy, the Czech Republic and Hungary. In these regions and countries, people wear Krampus costumes and scare people on the streets by ringing bells and looking frightening. And sometimes really brave little children also try to tease the wandering Krampuses without getting caught. Basically, something that we would call die Mutprobe, singular, die Mutproben, plural, the test of courage. And believe it or not, this was new to me as well, rarely a Krampus parade might also result in real violence, because people get really furious and hit each other. I mean, you know, where is Saint Nick when you really need him? Maybe he's filming for YouTube. Oh yeah, I could see that fit. And how did Krampus become so famous internationally? How? A probable reason for Krampus becoming that well known and famous, especially in the US, is the fact that many German settlers brought this and other legends, fairy tales, customs and traditions, stories basically, with them and spread the word during the past decades and centuries. Pretty much as an indirect or direct result, Krampus has been featured in many popular TV shows and movies, including American Dad or the show Grimm, which is sort of based on real fairy tale works by the Gebrüder Grimm, by the Brothers Grimm, two extremely important and famous German poets, authors and linguists. Yes, also linguists, because similar to the likes of Schiller and Goethe, they managed to implement many famous sayings into the German language, most of which we even know and use to this day. And now to the most important question of all. What do Germans actually think of Krampus? There's a couple of things that need to be addressed here, because even though Krampus is famous for being a mainly German creature, it's also quite a thing in the previous mentioned countries and states. Probably the most surprising fact about Krampus though for all of you guys out there is, it really isn't a big thing in about like 15 out of 16 German states, if a thing at all. I mean, honestly, if you were to ask a random person on the street, old or young, from northern, western and eastern Germany, there's quite a high chance that they either have not even heard of Krampus or they know very, very little about this fella. The reason is, the whole legend really is centered and based and rooted pretty much in Germany around Bayern, Bavaria, which is located in South Germany. You usually won't find public or private celebrations and parties including Krampus in most German states. Does it make Krampus less cool though? Definitely not. You know, for instance, I'm from West Germany, from the Sauerland region, and gotta be honest, not kidding you, I've heard about Krampus like 2-ish years ago, like for the first time ever, and I'm like a German native speaker, I'm from Germany. That basically might tell you everything. I don't want to call myself being representative of what it's like regarding Krampus in all of Germany, but then again, I think I sort of am. It is weird, I know, but when I think about it as a German, it really lines up with what or how many other German traditions and customs are perceived like, for instance, in America. To my knowledge, many traditions that are more, well, region-based and really popular there as opposed to all of Germany, they usually get associated with Germany as a whole. Also, I think what's important to say is that even though it doesn't represent, well, all of Germany tradition-wise, it really isn't something bad because of that, because, well, that actually rhymed. Because it really goes to show that there is a huge variety of many different traditions and customs in all of Germany, in several different German states, which is cool. Because in the end, well, at the end of the day, that means we've got a rich culture in Germany, which certainly is the case. Of course, there are cultural aspects that are popular in all of Germany as well. For instance, the beer culture is very present and strong in all of Germany, but the annual original Oktoberfest only takes place in Munich, Bavaria, as I've said before. Germans might very well celebrate their own little Oktoberfest parties in other parts of Germany, but that's about it. Generally speaking, it seems to me that a whole lot of foreigners actually don't know about these relations, like how big a tradition really is in Germany, for instance, and how important, how well known, in fact. So yeah, here you go, the more you know. However, don't worry, all of this doesn't mean other German states don't have anything interesting to offer, any interesting figures. For instance, in my region, the Sauerland, which is located in western Germany, I've also vlogged about that before, and in many other German states, there's another creature that has a slightly similar, well-known role or vibe to it compared to Krampus. I'm talking about the famous, or rather infamous, Knecht Ruprecht, for der Knecht singular, die Knechte plural, the servant or hauler. He also serves as a close companion of Saint Nicholas's, also as a workmate if you will, and he also punishes badly behaving children. He rather appears to be human instead of a demon though. Some parents and grandparents tell their little children or grandchildren about Knecht Ruprecht and what he's there for, what his occupation is like, so to speak, which usually leads to the children behaving well and peacefully. Knecht Ruprecht, Krampus and Saint Nick should just go on vacation together and figure out a way to spread work, so that each of them can relax at some point and be friends all along. Yeah, well, because why not? We like to know if there are similar traditions and customs and, well, mythological figures, for instance, in your country, in your culture as well. And if so, feel free to tell us in the comments, because I always like to learn more about other cultures and, well, what they are all about and whether there are similarities or not. Apart from all of that, of course, saying this in German, Frohe Weihnachten, or Fröhliche Weihnachten, which basically just means Merry Christmas in German. And by the way, well, if you want to learn more about how Germans celebrate Christmas, German Christmas vocabulary, like really important terms, phrases, words, and whatnot, feel free to check out my other videos, either in my Christmas playlist or in this Christmas compilation video right here. Let's just celebrate Christmas and spend time with your families and friends, or with these guys right here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave, and this is my colleague. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.